everybody. This is Just in Case from American Newscape. Joining our
Hear
friend
me.
and media personality, Jerry Maldonado, back for another installment of American Mentoring 2024. Hello, Jerry. Welcome back to American Newscape.
Hey, man. Happy 2024 to all of you and to you, the mighty meatball on the other end.
All right. I think seeing you mimic with your mouth there, I think people are starting to think that there's only really one person. And you're a ventriloquist and you can do both voices.
This is why I'm single. Women hate me. I'm always doing. They're like, "What are you doing?" I said, "It's my altered state." Pardon the pun.
there
As
you
part of tonight's episode.
there
Hint,
you
hint.
there you go. All right, altered states, Jerry. What's happening with altered states?
Normally, I don't do this, but I'm going to read something verbatim because this just came out yesterday, and it could be like a mantra for everybody to go by. And it was really powerful from a Dr. Nicole Sapphire. Perhaps you never heard of her. I didn't. I clicked on Twitter. I'm sorry, X, formerly Twitter. And she noted these powerful words, and it's something we should really consider because it'll really stop all this tension and how people are acting nowadays. Because you know as well as I do, being on this network and whatever, there's a lot of armchair quarterbacks out there. And if people really can grasp a hold of their purpose driven life and follow that every day, I'm just going to get to the point, Meatball. Here we go. I'll spend the rest of 2024 being too busy watering my own grass to notice if yours is greener.
I'm sorry.
I'd like that.
I know, I know.
You know,
I'm trying not to laugh.
it, I'm trying to be scholar over here,
I
Meatball,
know.
and you keep messing with me.
I'm trying not to laugh. All right, you green
But
grass.
but but think about what Nicole said. I mean, really, we just mind our own business. You got 8 billion people with that kind of collective consciousness. I mean, the world, would be such a different place nowadays.
Oh, I agree, and you have to appreciate that coming from somebody that actually has a surname which
Yes,
is that of a pole dancer.
indeed, and has some acronyms. So, wow, usually we don't listen to the acronyms in front of the names anymore, but she provoked some powerful words right there, and I was pleasantly surprised to hear somebody who normally focuses on the physicality of people. She was focusing on the inside of people. She was saying, "Look, direct your mentality to what you want to create, and only that, and watch how your life will change. Stop worrying about Jane or John. Stop, stop imitating. And you can emulate, but don't imitate somebody else's life. You can learn from them, but don't live by them."
No, absolutely. That falls us back. That would put us back in the run around like a meek sheep and follow the herd, and hopefully the herd knows
Yeah,
what
the
they're doing.
sheeple. Yeah, the sheeple kind of mentality. And sadly, it's with programming in television. They've kind of with the COVID and everything else, they've kind of conditioned us to only follow the science or follow the acronyms in front of or behind somebody's name. If you just follow your purpose driven life and what you want to have, be, and do, and follow it, you'll spend the rest of 24 just watering your own grass. Indeed, it can be greener on the other side, but it's how you water it with your thought.
That reminds me. These social media platforms, they're busy worrying about our grass and not taking care of their own.
Yeah, and censoring our grass
Yeah.
and
So
mowing our grass, and they're
if
doing all the things that eliminates the free. I get the whole free speech thing. I get it. You can say what you want, but there's ramifications for that on the outside world and the inside world. So when you start realizing going back in here and understanding what you're saying to yourself and what you're preaching about the world every day about yourself, you realize what you're bringing to yourself.
I agree with you, Jerry, and there's always been. It's not just a problem with society today. It probably dated back to the first caveman worrying about what the other caveman was doing across the cave, and not
Well, you bring up
not
a great point. Go ahead. I'm sorry.
I don't know, but that's just an age-old problem where people need to, mend their own fences and not worry about their neighbor's fence so much.
Well, we talked about this before. It's not necessarily a problem with society; it's a conditioned society.
Yeah, you're
You know what I
exactly right.
mean? It's we've been told we had to be a certain way, act a certain way. It may sound verbatim, but it's so powerful when you just follow your own path. It doesn't matter what they're doing next door, down the street, on the news. You follow your own path, and you get like 8 billion people with the collective consciousness of doing their own thing. The world literally will evolve into something completely different than it is right now.
Well, and it has.
Aaron Throat.
It has, and we've seen it. Our parents saw it. That ever changing society. Let's call it society. How do we adapt and how do we retain what's good and discredit what may be damaging to us? I mean, it's gotten a lot more complicated.
Yes, yeah, indeed, indeed. I like the post-war 19 late 40s, early 50s. I mean, those guys fought a war, got off the ship, and made a life. That was it. There was nothing else. They said, look, we need a life, we need a family, we need this, we want it. They just focus on what they wanted, and look at what they've created for us. I mean, several million of them coming back with that kind of focus-driven life. You wonder why they lived so long, because of the fact they weren't focusing on what happened to them or what else can happen, but only what they can make happen. It's a great generation.
Yeah, absolutely. And I'm reminded of a comedian, and I apologize, I do not recall who did this, but he talked about that 1850s plainsman. Here was a man that lived on the plains in 1850, and for people that don't know what the plains are, that would have been the Midwestern United States. And he said life was so much simpler then. He said you got up in the morning, you spent your day, you went to bed when it got dark, and all day the only thing you worried about was, where are the Indians?
And the food too, man. They had to kill their own breakfast too, man.
Well, yeah, but it was more. They were more concerned about where the Indians were
Oh yeah,
and what they were up to.
their
And
own lives. You bring up a great point. In that, from that whole statement, they were worried about themselves, their own lives, and they kept to themselves with their own lives. And if people would grasp that for their own scenario and situation, social media is great for connection, reconnection, information, but not indoctrination. And that's what people are really sadly getting mesmerized into by somebody else's opinions and thoughts when they're forgetting how to think. I think there's 80,000 brain cells that they're not using, Meatball. People got to realize we have all this power and uniqueness. That's why we have a fingerprint, but we're not using it because we're listening to everybody else's opinion when we should be creating our own opinion, our own purpose, our own goals, our own dreams, following that every day, because from that, we're going to create the emotion of happiness, purpose-driven life. Will attract those situations and people to match what and who we are. So it's a great parable to live by if you realize just water your own grass, take care of your own grass. Indeed, and to help others. Indeed, I'm always there to help others. I'm talking about yourself as a whole, and not this opinionated person out there telling people how to live. I don't. I say choose your, you pick your poison, whatever it might be, and go with it.
well, even with this platform, as we put things out there and people come back, lots of the comments are negative, and I always thank them for their opinion and tell them sorry I can't agree with you, but thank you for taking the time to post your opinion. But what amazes me is how can anybody afford the energy to put towards something negative?
Because they don't understand energy.
Right.
When they understand that they're taking away seconds of their life to post something derogatory, they realize, wait, what am I wasting my time here, man? Instead of going out there creating something, they're trying to destroy something. And hurt people will always hurt people. It's a sad fact. The ones that carry that hurt every day, and as well as I do from our life experiences. I mean, when you understand it, it's a lot. You'll grasp hold of why people do things. And you can always tell when somebody's hurt by their reactions, their character, how they treat people, what they say to people in life. So if you understand it, it's tolerable. If you don't, it's hurtful.
Well, yeah, I think you need to learn to understand it so it doesn't become hurtful because it will always be there.
Yes. Oh, yeah. In some form, whatever language, indeed. It's been going on, millions of years, however communication's been set out to be. But with platforms like this and many others like us out there showing the world, say, look, you have a garden, which is your mind. What are you watering it with? What are you planting in there? And from that, it's going to grow. It's going to be called your reality. And then when people grasp that, they won't waste their time niddling at little things just because Jane's wearing a dress up to her hips. Big deal. It's her problem. It's not yours, Meatball. It takes a lot of courage to do something like that. There was a lady on Instagram. She was doing all the different voices for like opera and everything else, and she was absolutely wonderful. By the way, it was my own opinion, but everybody else said she was terrible, and I'm like, why? Swipe left, swipe up. I mean, who cares? The girl had enough courage to come out there. This is what hurts people, and kind of that collective consciousness of more hurting people, just hurting more people. If you just follow your path, follow your purpose. If you don't know what it is, you keep asking, you'll get it. If you don't know how to do it, write it down. Maybe you'll figure it out. But there's always a way. And once you find that purpose-driven life, life doesn't deny you nothing that you don't first deny yourself.
No, you're right, Jerry. And everybody needs to stay after it. Even you and I need to stay after it.
Every day.
Every day. Every day. Absolutely.
Every day. Every day above ground's a good day.
This side of the grass, it is indeed. We may be depriving.
I don't want to be the grass, Meatball. I want to be able to mow
it. In the words of that famous pole dancer Sapphire, I bet she said some other good stuff.
I think I started following her, but the great words, man. It's just mind your own business.
Exactly.
Indeed, yeah, we're all entitled to an opinion, but constructive opinions, not destructive opinions. If you don't like your life, that's fine. I'm sorry, Meatball. I'm trying to enjoy mine. Don't try to ruin it. Just be yourself. Indeed, you're going to have, you and I got the alligator skin. Yeah, we've been there. We've done that. But I've seen what my daughters have gone through growing up 3 years apart from each other in the same programming, the same hurt, the same. It's just perpetuating. It's getting worse and worse and worse with the internet because people don't have to know who you are. You can hide behind the keyboard like a lot of people do and hurt people constantly. And I just stay away from it. As I mentioned on my last segment, that negativity, treat negativity as just like a germ. Get away from it because you're gonna catch it. It's gonna come right on to you.
Well, and I worry about the younger generations and the recent generations being protected by things such as participation trophies.
Oh yeah. We had to work for that.
Well,
we had to. I don't know who installed that "give me something for nothing" mantra. I almost said an expletive here. It gets me angry. But at the same time, we had to work for that Little League trophy. We had to work for that report card. We had to work for all these things. And if our feelings got hurt, too bad.
Yeah, exactly. Well, they didn't get hurt because we understood that's what it was all about. We've
lost that push, and shows like this hopefully inspire people to inspire more people so they can inspire themselves.
I hate to shock people, but realize that little 8-year-olds playing Little League baseball, one team got snow cones after the game, and the other team did not get snow cones.
Nope. Speaking of Little League, I was always on the Bad News Bears. I got nothing.
Yeah, that's swell.
But it was a great lesson. It was I'll never forget the lessons that I learned walking off the field, throwing my glove, and realizing frustration can be your destination if you let it. You got to keep working at it. You don't build tenacity by getting a free trophy, Meatball. You got to understand to push forward. And then, mind you, these are kids. Nothing compared to the adult life. which is 10 times harder. I grew up, I went, no, I don't want to do this no more, but at the same time, if you don't learn when you're young, you got to recondition yourself when you get old, and that's the hard part. Learning when you're young is easy.
Well, yeah, when you're young, it gives you a chance. It
You cry
enhances.
it off, go to bed, and wake up the next day, man. It's not a big deal. I mean,
I don't think we even cried it off, Jerry. I don't think we were that. We were just unhappy that we did not get a free snow cone.
yeah, I cried. I was a little wimp. I was a big crier back then, man. Emotional intelligence, I guess, to the next level. I don't know. I have little EI clicked in there, but it taught me well.
Well,
It
yeah,
taught me how to be a better person. But I don't know where this narrative came from to give something just for trying. No, meatball, you got to really try. You got to, and this goes with your life in general as well. I mean, you don't want to give up after the first try if it means something to your heart, because that's calling you, and your mind is telling you how to do it. It's just a matter of how you're going to do it and if you're going to keep doing it.
right, absolutely. All right, now give us some tools that we can all work on to help tend our own garden, so to speak, or how to water our own grass.
you know, if people, if you know what you want, and a lot of people are getting to that point now, and they really do. If you know what you want, it's accomplished. All you got to do is keep doing it every single day. It's really simple. And I can't sit there and try to tell you guys here what or when on how to do it. All I can say is follow what makes you happy.
There you go. Keep, it's that old adage: keep your eye on the prize.
Yeah. Yes. Yeah. Better words than me, meatball. You get the prize tonight, man.
I get to wear the meatball crown. All
You
right,
get the
I'm
you
excited.
get the prize tonight.
Tell your mom I'm the kings of the meatballs tonight.
Yes, and I had them today, and they were delicious.
Ah, damn it. All right. Well, okay.
Indeed.
Hey, Jerry, I want to thank you. I think this is a good launching point to stay after this with people. And, in the words of Billy Joel, you can't even run your own life. I'll be damned if you'll run mine. And that was kind of him suggesting to others to not try.
Balls to the wall.
There you
Very
go.
good.
There you go. All right, everybody. This has been Justin Case and Jerry Maldonado bringing you American Mentoring. Thanks for joining us. Remember, additional information and links provided in this video. Read more. Today is the new year and the day to subscribe to this channel. Please learn more about Jerry Maldonado when time permits.